Welcome back to Expressions of Destiny podcast. This is Jennifer. Today is Teachable Tuesday, so let's get down to business. I wanted to go in a different direction today. We get the question all the time, how did we come up with the name of our business, which is Expressions of Destiny? And it's really exactly what it says. But you guys know, if you've been listening to me for a while, I love looking at the definition of words and knowing the true meaning of them. So I thought I would break it down for y'all today just to get a better understanding of who we are and why we do what we do. So the word expressions from the dictionary means the process of making known one's thoughts or feelings or emotions. And then the word destiny means something of which a person or a thing is destined. And so it was about 20 plus years ago that the Lord gave us this name. It just came to us one day, my husband and I, and we were thinking, we love talking about purpose. We love creativity. We love just expression. And, we had always been talking about our destiny, what we were created for, the things that we enjoy doing versus the things that we were doing, just out of routine. And so we sat there and we thought, well, one of these days, we just really want to be able to teach. We want to be able to educate and help people really find their purpose. And so that's when Expressions of Destiny was birthed. We were actually in San Antonio at the time, very active and involved in church. And it was just such a blessing to be able to work with the teens and to work with the music ministry and the children's ministry. We were both teachers at the time, and so we were just around young people all the time. And it was such an important place to be, that although parents can speak into the lives of their children, if you have an opportunity to encourage them, even outside of their normal, the normal voices that they hear, it is so much more powerful, because it's you're taking what they've already heard from those that are closest to them, and you are reinforcing that, and they're hearing it now in multiple places. And so just an example for you. My husband is a musician, and the girls love to play instruments, piano. They play a little bit of flute, a little bit of violin, and they're wanting to dive into so many other things. Now, Chris can sit down and teach the girls, and they'll learn from him. But there's something different. There's a shift that happens if we sign them up for lessons. If we sign them up to go and sit with someone that they are not familiar with, that has the same gift, for some reason our children grab hold of that because it is someone that they are unfamiliar with. They're not hearing the same, oh, baby, you can do it. I know you can. Keep trying, work harder. Now they're hearing it from someone that they don't know. And there's a shift that takes place in their mind and in their heart to say, oh, this person believes in me too. And that person over there believes in me too. And this person is showing me a different way to do it. And that person showed me a different way. And so I can take everything that I've learned. That's why experience is so important. And so if we think about that in the sense of, the way that we operate and we walk on a daily basis, we can lose that belief sometimes. We can lose that faith in ourselves and that belief that we can accomplish things. But the moment we hear somebody else say, wow, that was great, if we're speaking to a group, or if we're teaching, or we're training, or we might just be doing what we love. We could be singing. We could be riding our bike in a race. It doesn't matter what it is. Someone that we are unfamiliar with walks up and says, that was pretty amazing. I am so impressed. That I would never be able to do something like that. It just really boosts us, and it makes us feel confident in what it is that we're doing. We're reminded of what is already inside of us, reminded of what we already knew, but we momentarily forgot. And so that's what drove this passion for what we do on a daily basis. And it didn't matter where we were going to take that passion and that drive to help other people find that confidence and that belief in themselves, and to know who they are and what God created them to be, And we were going to teach it in every way possible. So if that meant we were in a classroom with students, at a public school system, which we were at one point, or if we were in a church or a ministry with a group or a Bible study, that's where we were going to teach. That's where we were going to pour out our heart. Or if we're on a podcast like I am today, that's where I'm going to teach and pour my heart out. So it doesn't matter the position or the place that you are in, as long as you are operating in who you are. And so we always want to encourage and remind you that you can go and do the things that you know you were created for. So if you want to start a business or you want to be the head of a company, you can do those things. And a lot of times we get stuck in the norm, right? The regular routine of what it is that we think we need to do just to earn that income or to have a steady income or to provide for our families, that we feel like we're not fulfilling purpose, but it's just something we have to do. I have been there many times throughout my lifetime of different jobs. Working, in a school is probably where I felt the most purposeful. But going from there to going back to school and then working at a hair salon as a receptionist, then I was working at a hotel as a front desk agent overnight, and then working in retail at different outlet stores and malls. Everything that I did, even to the most recent, a couple of years back at a grocery store, it's not what I wanted to do, but every moment I walked through those doors and I had an opportunity to serve someone and to just be kind to someone and to love on people and to show them I am there to help you, I was fulfilling purpose. And I had to get around that thinking, this is not where I'm supposed to be, and begin to see it as, okay, this is a season. This is, Lord, this is where I need to be right now. If this is where I have to be, I'm going to continue to operate in who it is I know that I am. Because at some point, I'm going to have to shift out of this place into the next place, whether it's another season, or if I'm entering into that place where now I am building and establishing what it is that I'm supposed to do. It doesn't matter. No matter where you're at, you can still operate in who you are. I was pushing a cart, gathering groceries for people to come and pick up. But there was nothing greater than walking out those doors with a smile on my face, excited to see my customers, excited to put their groceries in the back of their car, excited to talk to them and see how they've been and tell them, I hope you have a wonderful day. And to see the smiles on their faces that they felt like somebody actually cared. That outweighed all the frustration of working in a grocery store and being where I didn't want to be. And now I felt like I was in the right place at the right time. So I wanted to share something I read just the other day. And I wish I would have written down where it was from, but it was off of a website. It just happened to catch my eye, and it said, Finding Your Purpose. And I'm sure if I Googled these exact words, because I wrote it down, I could probably find the source for you. But it simply said, finding your purpose means finding a way to impact the world in a way that fulfills and satisfies you. Your purpose aligns with your dreams, your values, and your actions. It gives meaning to your existence. I want to break that up just a little bit because every part of that is so powerful and so important. But each part, you can literally pick it apart and insert yourself in there and really think about, what I'm doing right now, is it fulfilling my purpose? So let's go back for a moment. So finding your purpose means finding a way to impact the world in a way that fulfills and satisfies you. So you are looking for something. You want to do something that makes you feel purposeful. You want to know that you are there on purpose for that time and that season. Because we live in seasons of our lives, right? The seasons always change. Even here in Florida, we still have a summer a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter. It may not be as extreme as other states, but we still have it. We still see the change. And so we want to feel like we are being purposeful in that season that we are in currently until it's time to transition and change into the next season. And you want to make sure that it satisfies you. Does it bring you joy? Are you happy doing it? Does it change your day and your experience? If you walked in after having a horrible morning and you're able to do something to really make someone else's day, does it change the atmosphere for you? Here's an example. When I worked at the grocery store, I had to be there at 5 a.m., which meant I had to be up at 3, which meant at some point at 3 o'clock, and I say 3 because I like to take my time. It's not that I take that long to get ready. I like to take my time. And so I'd get up, and there was a time where my girls were on vacation with their grandparents, and it was just Chris and I wouldn't have to get up and do the doggy duty and take the dogs out and let them go potty and come in and get myself ready. And so it took time. And there were some nights where the dogs would bark and bark because they heard something outside, or something, set them off. They saw a light shining through the window. And I understand they're just being guard dogs, but it would interrupt my sleep. And so I would get up frustrated, exhausted, because now I'm up at 3 after you just woke me up probably at midnight, and I have to be at work by 5, and I have to be there until 2. And then I have to come home and make sure that I'm here for the girls, make sure that I can at least catch a nap. I still want to be able to go out and walk and do my daily activity because that's like my de-stressor, it's my time with God. And then I still need to get dinner ready, and I still need to be in bed early, at least by 8 p.m., so that I can get up and start this all over again. That was hard because I felt like I was robbing time from my family as well. But at the same time, when I entered that store, the first customer that I got to serve was always the customer that I needed. And it was a different customer every day, but I was fulfilling purpose. I was able to go out there and serve them. And in serving them, it would lift my spirits, and it would allow me to have a day that wasn't perfect, but was a lot better than the way it started. And so, although I didn't want to be there, I was able to enter into what my real purpose is. I was there for someone else, not for me. It was not for me. And so I love that part of the statement because it says, you're looking for a way to impact the world with it fulfilling, making you feel fulfilled and satisfied. Are you happy? Your purpose aligns with your dreams, your values, and your actions. So you have to know who you are. You have to stop for a moment and think, what are my values? What are my dreams? What are my actions? I want to share a little quick story with you. It was actually yesterday. We talk about owning businesses and stuff, and we're driving down the street and we're looking at different shops and stores. And, there was a liquor store and a daycare center and a fast food chains. And my husband said, would you ever own a liquor store? Just a random question. We just like throwing stuff out there like that. And I said, no. He said, well, why not? It's probably good money. And I said, because it's not something that I enjoy. And he says, but it's just a business. And he'll ask me these questions just to get me thinking. And I said, yeah, but I don't want to own something that I don't enjoy. I want to own something that I believe in, not just because it makes money. I have to be engaged in that thing. I don't drink. I don't care to drink. Other people do, and that's fine. It's just not something that I enjoy. It's not, my taste buds don't even like the taste of any type of liquor. I can't do it. That's just me. So I wouldn't own a liquor store, if it's not something that I enjoy. And so we have to think about that, because a lot of people would jump on, fast food chains. We don't care very much for fast food. There are only a couple that we will go to. But I'm not going to own a fast food chain if that's not what I eat on a daily basis. Why would I want that? I have no desire for that. And so when this talks about your purpose aligning with your dreams, right? That the things that you hope for, the things that you see yourself doing, your values, what it is that you believe in, what it is that you really care about, what are you passionate about, and your actions. Is it the way that you would operate and the way that you would do things? That's what's most important. You wouldn't go and do something that is out of character of who you are, because you have to be the person that you are, that God created you for. We don't want to live in a world of a whole bunch of fake people. We want to see the real you. And that's really a big problem right now with the internet and social media. And we utilize it for business and such, but a lot of times we get a lot of fakeness instead of seeing who you really are. And there are a lot of people out there that really, they just show who they are. But it's mixed, and you have to kind of discern between what it is that you're looking at. And so we want to be able to do the thing that we love. And here's the last part that is probably the most important. It gives meaning to your existence. We all have a reason. We have a purpose for being on this earth. If somebody told you at some point in your life that you have no purpose, then shame on them. Every single one of us has a purpose. It may not be the same as the other person beside you. It may not be as big. It might be, and that doesn't mean that your purpose is smaller. It's just the way that we operate. It may be more subtle. I can be very quiet and reserved, but I also love to talk a lot. So if you get on a subject that I'm passionate about, I will jump in there. But you'll also see me holding my tongue a lot of times. Just, trying to use wisdom and not get into conversations that I don't want to be a part of. We operate differently. And because we are different, I say it all the time, we were created to stand out. Because we are different doesn't mean that our purpose is any less or that we don't have purpose at all. It's just finding and discovering that. And so I want to encourage you today, because we need to really stop and think about our business, our life, every part of us. They all go hand in hand. Even though we try to keep our business and our life separated, our business is still what we love, where it should be. And so that is what Expressions of Destiny is for us. I'm bringing this back full circle because I really wanted our listeners to understand who we truly are. Chris, myself, our daughters. As a family, we operate together. And so that is what Expressions of Destiny is. It is the process of making known one's thoughts or feelings or emotions through whatever it is that you are destined to be and to do. God has destined us from the very beginning. There is a reason why we are here. So I want to leave you with that today. Go and think deep. Take this and sit down for a little while this week and just really think about what it is that you have a passion and a burning and a desire for, and operate in it, because you don't know who you're going to bless. And so blessings to you and your family and your businesses, and I will talk to you later. God bless.